When it comes to selling your practice, your offer, or your business, one of the things that most people don't talk about enough are the holdbacks inside of your business and where you may lose money. So, what's a holdback in business and how do you negotiate and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan coming to you live from Consulting Secrets on a perfect day to talk about business growth, opportunity, holdbacks, earnouts, and a fantastic day to talk about you. I'm coming to you live from Haleiwa, Oahu, one of my favorite places on earth. All right, so when you take a look at selling your business, there's contracts, there's things that happen. And the more risk that you have inside of your business, the more conditions that are going to be put on your business. And so I'm going to give you easy numbers. You've got a business doing $10 million a year with 20% profit. And so somebody comes to you and says, we're going to give you a 5 times multiple. Okay. You're going to get 10 million for that company. But what they're going to do is they're going to say, based upon the risk, based upon everything that we've seen, we're going to hold back a percentage. So it's not uncommon to see a 95-5 deal. It's not uncommon to see a 90-10 deal. It's not uncommon to see an 80-20 deal. So a 95-5 is this. They give you 9.5 million and they hold back as like a reserve, as a bank account for liabilities, $500,000. Lawsuits, claims, issues, reps, warranties, all of those things. Okay. An earnout is a condition on the loan. An earnout says, hey, when these criteria are met, then you will get this money. Okay, so you said that that company is profitable at 10%. When you prove that it's 10% over the next forward 12 months, the FTM, then we will give you 150,000. So we're gonna give you 9 million up front, 150,000 for profitability. When you shared with us that you said that these clients are gonna stick around and some of them had concentration risk, if any of those leave because you have a concentration risk, we're gonna take some money out. So you need to understand the difference between a holdback and an earnout because these things could be negotiated. When you're taking a look at your deal, it's real money and it's real math. And this is why it really helps for you to have a Titans thesis. This is why it's helpful for you to have as much history as you can and as much proof as you can, because you want clear financials. You want standard operating procedures. You want org charts, because all that risk reduces. Is it going to be a holdback? Or is it going to be an earnout? Holdbacks are normal, right? Like, we're going to do a 95-5 deal for you. Everything looks free and clear. Versus, we'll give you 8 million up front. We're going to hold back 500,000 for liabilities as a holdback, and then 1.5 of it's going to be an earnout. What matters is how much you're getting paid today, right now. Everything else is subjective. Everything else has conditions and items and things tied to it. So you want to know that when you have your history and somebody says, well, here's what we want to do. We want to do an 80-20 deal. We're going to give you $8 million right now. And of that, 500,000 is going to be a holdback and 1.5 is going to be an earnout. And you can look and go, no, you're not dealing with a C-level company at this point. We want to do business with you. We would love to sell the company for you, but let's flip that. I'm willing to do 500,000 earnout, 500,000 in holdback. I want 9 million at closing. When you have history, when you say like, look, here's my client concentration, here's my standard operating procedures, here is my legal claims, here is my books, and I've got a quality earnings report. These are all things that put you at an A+ level, okay? There's other things. I'm not giving you the complete list. I mean, I don't have the time for this video, but there's a whole list of things that you could do to work to your favor so that when it comes to that conversation and somebody comes to you and says, we're going to give you this much holdback and this much earnout, you could push back and say, I'm not willing to do that because I got proof. And that's the thing that's gonna happen for you. And so like all of these things that whether it's a holdback or an earnout, they really need to be defined. Like what are the conditions? Now, I've seen this happen where somebody says, hey, we're gonna do a holdback and we're gonna put it on the client base. And if you have cancellations, then we're gonna ding and dent you for every one of the cancellations. And the seller had their history for 5 freaking years. And they go, well, here's the thing. I want to do an average, a blended average of the last 5 years. And I want to put a ceiling on these service contracts that we have for the business and for the practice that it's in. Because if you lose more than my average, my historical average, that's not on me. Like I have proof that historically I have done, 15, 16, 17% cancellations. And if you come to me with 30, I'm going to say that's on you because I have the history. I can prove it over 5 years. What cancellation is to the day, to the percentage, to the year, to the quarter, whatever it happens to be. So if you have more proof than anybody else, it allows for you to, I'm not doing that deal, right? You don't have to be aggressive. You can just tell them no. You can have your attorney do it. You can say, listen, I would love to do this deal, but these conditions are off. And then it's going to come down to standard negotiation. 2 really good books for you to read. Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference. And the book that kind of started that was Start with No from Jim Camp. So Never Split the Difference and Start with No are 2 very good books to read on negotiation. And whether it's Jim or whether it's Chris, you're going to find that it's really good, solid content. And so what you want to do is before you sell, you want to have a mock, You want to have a mock negotiation with you and your attorney and bring somebody in and say, hey, here's what the offer is going to be. And then you've practiced. So like you've practiced all the way at the top. Fantastic. You're going to ask for more. You've practiced all the way at the bottom. Fantastic. You're going to ask for more. If you have an A+ seller's thesis, a Titan's thesis, you can absolutely demand these things. If you've got a C-level thesis or a D-level thesis, meaning not everything is there and you haven't prepped, you're going to get what you get. And that's a bad place to be. It's your company. You should get as much for it as you can on the way out. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button. Click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.